Good morning, or good morning. What am I talking about? Good evening. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. I'm your host, David On Point. Hopping right there is my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. And on today's episode of the Prime, we're going to break down week number 15, Monday Night Football, which is actually a very entertaining game. TJ, I got to mute you. You got a lot of background noise. Week 15 of Monday Night Football, week 16 preview and prediction show. So keep up with all the content. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We go live basically every single day, bringing you guys the most up-to-date content. As we are now down to just the final 3 weeks of the National Football League, 3 more weeks of the season. So enjoy them while you can, because they're going to be gone before you know it, which is really kind of one of those bummers. NFL season, we all go super hyped for it all the time, and then it ends way too soon. But yeah, welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday, TJ. How are you, buddy? What's up?
I'm still muted.
I had to mute you. You had a ton of crazy noise going on when I first started the show.
It's just a fan.
Well, it's all good now though, because it didn't sound like a fan. It sounded like static, but you're all good now. You sound good. So how are you? Man, 3 weeks left of the National Football League. At least until the playoffs. Yeah, it's just the way it goes. Let's talk about Monday Night Football. And the Seattle Seahawks found a way to steal one from the Philadelphia Eagles as they go in. They welcome off the Philadelphia Eagles. They win this game 20-17 when Drew Lock threw a game-winning touchdown to Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Jalen Hurts turned around and threw a game-sealing interception, which was a crazy catch by Julian Love. Just the way to get his feet down and the ground he covered in order to make that interception. This was not a good game for Jalen Hurts. He got a 17 of 31, 143 yards and 2 interceptions, including that game-sealing pick. He did have 2 rushing touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 5 for 56. Drew Lock was very emotional during the post-game press conference. Just the post-game interview. I also don't remember a time where the interview lasted as long as that one did. But good for Drew Lock. It felt like an eternity. I don't know. It's also I usually don't watch the post-game interview, so it just caught me a little bit off guard. It just struck me as a long interview. But Drew Lock, good for him to get the victory. He was obviously very emotional after the game. 22 of 33, 200 yards, and that touchdown that sealed the game. Kenneth Walker also had a rushing touchdown, and DK Metcalf 5 for 78, and Jackson Smith-Njigba had the receiving touchdown for this squad.
Yeah, again, I said it in the group chat. I didn't want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing about Jalen Hurts being sick. I don't want to hear nothing about. I don't want to hear none of that because you're out there. That jersey's on, and folks expect you to be at your best. They don't want like they don't care.
True. Hmm.
Like when
Excuses only take you so far. Hmm.
like when you've been as good as the Eagles have been the past handful of years, you don't get excuses, right? I don't like the whole like when they lost two straight to the Cowboys and the I forgot who they lost to after them.
49ers.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, 49ers first and then the Cowboys. They like, oh, they played 3 games in 13 days. Don't care because we wouldn't hear like because we won't hear about this stuff
Especially
if
when
they win.
you're the reigning NFC champions. Like you know, you're gonna get everybody's best effort every night.
It's not just that though. We wouldn't hear that stuff if they win.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear it in the loss. I don't like
Um.
shout out to Drew Lock though, cause yeah, he put the team on his back.
Yeah, I mean that throw he made, it showed you why there was so much promise for him when he came out of Missouri, and why he was a large part the centerpiece of that Russell Wilson trade.
Yeah,
Geno Smith ends up beating him out for the starting job. But Drew Lock has talent, and he's got a machine gun for a throwing arm, and that was just a beautiful throw. Jackson Smith-Jigba did a great job, controlling the catch and getting both feet down. This is a very good win for Seattle, and in a lot of ways for the Seahawks, this saves their season because you
oh
lose this, you fall to 6-8. You're probably looking at not getting a wild card spot because the division's totally sewn up, and you're looking at the Rams who you've lost already twice to them. So you don't have the tiebreakers with them. You'd have to jump them by 2 games.
right.
This saved their season by this victory.
The real winner in this is the Dallas Cowboys because they they were you're going into Monday night thinking like damn like just when I thought we were gonna have some kind of hold on this division, we get blown out by Dallas or we get blown out by Buffalo, and let's be honest, nobody thought Seattle was gonna win that game last night. Everybody
Yeah,
thought
Dallas is
no
thinking they're lucky stars, man. Like they basically this also puts Dallas back in the driver's seat because the division record is what it is now, or
yeah
the conference record. So
conference
like,
record.
so Philadelphia, even if they win out now, they can't win the division, and Dallas is in the front runner of the driver's seat of the NFC East. Even after losing that, even though they have a really tough stretch here coming up against with Miami, they have another tough game too. I can't remember what it is, but
It's Miami, and I think they play Detroit.
yeah. So those are two tough games they could still lose. Eagles have a pretty easy. I think they got 2 games against the Giants and then a game against the Commanders. I think.
No, it's
Don't
the it's
Arizona,
the
Arizona.
yeah, it's the Giants twice in Arizona.
Yeah, so they'll be okay. But yeah, this is a good win for Seattle. In a lot of ways, yeah, it really saves their season. Um, and yeah, that's like having Matt Patricia call the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I didn't really notice too much of a difference. Like they're still pretty
Which is
formidable to.
also weird. Like, how do you just
Yeah,
make
right.
a move like that mid-season or this late in the season?
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things. We'll see what ends up happening. Good win for Seattle. As we get ready to close this book on week number 15, let's give out some game balls. TJ, who's getting your game ball for week number 15?
Was getting my game. I hate that he did it to us, but Joe Flacco, Joe Cool, he turned back into Joe Cool.
Are you wacko for Flacco?
No, I'm not. But like that just goes to show. That just goes to show like how really the importance of a vet quarterback because they were missing a bunch of stars on their offensive line and he still threw for over 300 and what you call it, he had 3 picks, one of them was a pick six. Probably could have threw a lot more, but at the end of the day, like as long as he kept getting opportunities and opportunities, he took advantage of them. So Joe Flacco.
And I already gave a shout out to Drew Lock when we talked about that game in the first place, so I won't include him in my game ball, but he absolutely deserves the game ball. Way to stay lock and loaded. Like it would have been easy for him to shut it down. Way to stay engaged and way to be able to get back on the football field. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield is my game ball. To have the first visiting quarterback to ever throw a perfect passer rating at Lambeau Field, that has to be said something there for Baker Mayfield. 4 touchdowns, 381 yards, 0 interceptions, no turnovers for Baker Mayfield. Just one of those games where you watch Baker Mayfield, like, yeah, he's pretty good. And then I'm sure he'll follow it up with an abysmal performance next week. When people remind you, like, oh yeah, he's Baker Mayfield. So, but yeah, Baker Mayfield gets my game ball for this week. Also, yeah, big time shout out to Drew Lock. I was pretty high on Drew Lock when he came out of Missouri. I thought he was going to be a better quarterback than he's been in the NFL. But the truth is, he's never really gotten a real fair shake at anything. Like, he's been injured when he was in Denver. They did make him the starter in Seattle. Like, there's talent there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Drew Lock.
Yeah. Moving on from there, let's talk about week number 16. We got games all over the schedule here as we go into the Christmas holiday. Also, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to everyone here from Prime Sports World. We do have one more show before the Christmas break, or for Christmas, really. We're doing a Fantasy Football Weekly show tomorrow. But for everyone who doesn't watch that show, hope you all have a very good holiday. Stay safe out there and enjoy. Just enjoy family and friends, and whatever you got to do. But week number 16 starts with Thursday Night Football, and we got Saints, Rams going up against each other. Both these teams coming off getting a victory. The Saints beating down on the New York Giants, and the Los Angeles Rams beat Arizona Cardinals. No, that's not right. Washington Commanders, thank you. This game is in beautiful SoFi Stadium. Both these teams really need a victory in order to stay in the hunt when it comes to the wild card / NFC South. Last time these two teams played was 1 year ago. The Saints got that victory 27-20. Gigi, how do you think this game shakes out 1 year later?
I think the Rams win again. The Saints were my NFC South winner. I had them winning the division, but it's just, again, I don't know what Saints team I'm getting on a week-to-week basis. I don't know which Derek Carr is going to show up. Yeah, give me the Rams in another close one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I got burnt last week when I picked against the New Orleans Saints. But I think the Rams, like the fact that like they've been as good as they've been this season, given the injuries that they're dealing with, given the fact that this defense isn't all that talented anymore outside of Aaron Donald, obviously, I'm going to take the Rams, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game went the other way at all.
Yep.
So, moving on from that game, we got Saturday football. This game kicks off at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. We got the Cincinnati Bengals going to Acrisure Stadium, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who need a victory in the worst way. And Cincinnati's on a little bit of a roll here. You know, they beat Minnesota there last Saturday. Pittsburgh coming off losing 4 of the last 5 games. They were in the driver's seat for a wild card spot at one point. That is certainly not the case. And they need to win at least 2 of these games, one game at least, to secure a winning record for Mike Tomlin. How do you see this one shaking out, TJ?
Cincinnati. That's all. What more needs to be said?
I think that this is a defense that can potentially get pressure and make Jake Browning look like Jake Browning, what we've kind of expected him to be. But I just don't trust this offense for Pittsburgh at all. And I think that's going to be the downfall for this season and for this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because their defense has been okay when they're not, super up against it. I'll take the Bengals to win this game as they continue to roll towards the playoffs and potentially a wild card berth. Moving on to the final game, and this game, by the way, is a Peacock exclusive for some reason. NBC couldn't be bothered to put it on his regular channel. So if you do not have Peacock, you will not be able to watch this game. Not to mention this game, when it was on paper, we talked about it at the beginning of the season. It's one of those games you're looking forward to. But Justin Herbert not there. Keenan Allen not there. This Charger team's season's gone south quickly.
That's
Buffalo
why
Bills.
that's probably why it got moved to Peacock because
Maybe. I mean, not like NBC had anything else to put on. I just don't. I don't get that decision at all. But yeah, but also they made this announcement even before Justin Herbert got hurt. The Chargers were still kind of in the hunt a little bit before when they made that choice. I just don't get it. But Bills now going into SoFi Stadium 2 days after the Rams played SoFi Stadium. I'm taking the Bills. I don't think this game will be close.
yep.
Also, last time these two teams played was 3 years ago, and the Buffalo Bills got the advantage there, 27-17. I don't even think the Chargers are going to put up 17 points in this game. that's just my honest God truth about it. From there, we got to go to Christmas Eve football, and we got just a handful of games here on Christmas Eve, and then we got a whole bunch on Christmas Day. The NFL is probably seething at the fact that the NFL is trying to put games on Christmas. It's notoriously been an NBA day, but we'll see how these things end up shaking out. If you're the NBA, would you be mad that the NFL put a bunch of games on Christmas Day?
No, because it's not new.
I mean, but last season it was because it was on a Sunday, so it made a lot of sense to have the games on Sunday. This is on a Monday.
It's also not new. That's usually the no, it's not. That's usually at least
this is the first season where they put a game on Christmas like this.
there's usually like 2 or 3 football games on Christmas anyway, David. It's not that big of a deal.
I don't think so. And if I was the NBA, I would be pretty pissed off. We let you guys have Thanksgiving. We don't even put a game on Thanksgiving. You couldn't, throw us his bone. Just proves the power of the NFL.
No. It's not that big of a deal. First off, NBA Christmas is always like the NBA is always going to win on Christmas no matter what because they start off so early. And there's 5 games. There's 5 basketball games on Christmas Day versus what? 3 Christmas Day games. 3. Most of the games are Christmas Eve because that's a Sunday.
That's fair. That's fair. But moving on to this Christmas Eve football, we got the Colts and the Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We got the 8-6 Indianapolis Colts going into Atlanta, taking on the 6-8 Atlanta Falcons. Last time these two teams played was 4 years ago, and the Colts got the edge 27-24. TJ, how do you think this matchup shakes out? I have no idea who the starting quarterback for the Falcons will be in this game. I imagine they don't have a choice. It'll probably still be Desmond Ridder. But
same result. If anything, this Colts team is resilient. They play hard for Shane Steichen. They play hard. Limit the mistakes because I think Atlanta at home is obviously a different. Everybody's a different team at home, right?
yeah. They're 4-3 at home, so like all but 2 of their wins have come at their own
home.
Yeah, at home.
Right. Give me the Colts and a close one.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take the Indianapolis Colts. I just Atlanta's offense is just not doing it for me. I don't know what it is. I think I expected this offensive line to play better. I expected Bijan Robinson to be more effective at the running game. Because on paper they have one of the better offensive lines in football. They just haven't utilized it this season whatsoever.
Well, that comes down to that comes back to coaching because you got offensive weapons out the Yahoo. You got Drake London, you got Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts is not utilized correctly whatsoever. What's his name? Marlon Mack, I think that's his name. Yeah, you got him, and for whatever reason, it's just they can blame the quarterback play all they want. That's the scapegoat in this situation, much like it is here in Chicago. It comes back down to coaching at the end of the day.
And coaching has left much to be desired when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons, and I think Arthur Smith will be fired when this season is done.
Yeah, that's coming.
Moving on from there, we got the second game on Sunday. We got the Seattle Seahawks going into Nissan Stadium, taking on the Tennessee Titans. Will Levis, I think, is in concussion protocol or some sort of injury protocol where he's iffy to play in this game. We're 5 days out. So we're going to have to kind of do this in hindsight. I think Will Levis will play in this game. The Titans, coming off losing to the Houston Texans there on Sunday, in Seattle obviously winning that thriller on Monday Night Football. I do not know who the starting quarterback for that team will be either. I will assume that it was going to be Geno Smith because he was pretty close to getting back on the football field this past week. I think he'll come back. Last time these two teams played was in 2021. The Tennessee Titans won this game in overtime, 33-30. TJ, how do you think the 2023 version shakes out?
For all things included, let's just say Drew Lock is the starter for Seattle going for this game. And I think they're gonna. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Gino came back because I think he was what when he sick too? Was he sick
No,
or was he?
I think he's got a groin injury of some sort, um, or something like that. That kept him out of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. Be prepared for Drew Lock to be the starter. That's just because groins are soft tissue injuries like that are tricky. Obviously, like it's nothing that you can really hide. You can't really rest a groin because you got to walk everywhere you go, right? So it don't take much
So
to.
Pete Carroll said that Geno Smith probably will play in first Titans.
All right, that's a. I mean, either way it go, they're
Yeah.
gonna win. Like that's just me.
I agree with you. I think no matter who the starting quarterback is, I think the Seattle Seahawks come out of Nissan Stadium in Tennessee with a victory.
hmm
And then from there, we got the Detroit Lions, who I think have sewn up the division going into U.S. Bank Stadium. If you don't know where that is,
I
that's where the
think
Minnesota
this.
Vikings play. They're 7-7.
I think if they win this one, they clinch it finally.
I think they may. I think they may have clinched it the when the Minnesota lost last week.
Nope, because
But
like usually you get like usually
but I think they played 2 more games against Minnesota. So I guess if Minnesota wins both, and then I guess technically they haven't. Yeah, they got to win this one.
they got to win this one.
Because they haven't played yet this season. Last time they played was last season. But Detroit, this is a different Detroit team. This is awfully a very different Minnesota Viking team. I think Nick Mullins will still be the starting quarterback of this team. How do you think How do you think this matchup shakes out with the Lions going into Minnesota?
Who did Minnesota play on Sunday? Did they play
Uh,
Sunday?
Cincinnati Bengals, and they lost that game against the Bengals on Saturday
In overtime.
with
Oh yeah,
the T Higgins catch.
yeah. They like in overtime.
Yeah.
The Vikings at home. The Vikings at home. The Vikings at home. Oh we. I want to say Detroit at home. I mean on the road. I think they could do it. But yeah, give me Detroit on the road. I think Minnesota's going to give them all they can handle, but I think eventually, yeah, I think eventually, like they just like Jared Goff's going to make a play that Nick Mullins can't make.
I also think that this Minnesota Vikings defense isn't all that good. Outside of Daniil Hunter, obviously the pass rushing, edge rushing position, but when it comes to their safety and their linebackers, I just don't secondary and their linebacking core. I just don't think it's there. I think the Lions win this game fairly easily. I'm not gonna say a blowout, but I think they should win this game handily. Moving on from this game, we got to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where the Washington Commanders go and take on the New York Football Jets, where I do believe Aaron Rodgers will make his return in this game. He's been cleared for football activity. I think even if there's nothing to play here for the New York Jets, which they've obviously been eliminated from playoff contention, I think Aaron Rodgers will play in this game. And I think he just wants to prove that he could come back and play in this game. I think the Jets win this game. I think that with the Aaron Rodgers coming back in MetLife Stadium, if he doesn't come
I
back,
don't.
I think
I
the
don't think
Commanders
he
win.
plays. I don't think he plays.
But the last time these two teams played was 4 years ago, and the Jets hung up 34 points on the Commanders and won this game handily. I'm not going to say that's going to be like that, but I think Aaron Rodgers returns. That's my prediction right now. I think he returns in this game. I think they beat the Commanders pretty easily.
I don't think he plays because again, what's the point? Like just to go out there and take some meaningless snaps, like
I think he just enjoys giving the big fu to science and everybody, all his quote unquote haters.
all right. So you know what I do if I'm Jonathan Allen?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is he loves the haters. So
So you want to know if you so you know what you want to know what I do if I'm Jonathan Allen? Oh, okay. You want to come out here? I'll just try to injure your other leg. It's cool. It's fine. Like no, it's stupid. Like and if the Jets put him out there, they're stupid because you're gonna put him
Well,
out there.
based on what we've seen out of the New York Jets, because I don't
Like
I have no
if they put him out there, they're stupid. Because what do you have to gain for two or three games of Aaron Rodgers? Because like, what if you put him out there again and he gets hurt again? Now you're really set back.
so he went on the Pat McAfee show today actually and said it's unlikely he'll be activated from injury reserve this week, so he will not play. So
He's not
I
gonna
guess
play
yeah,
at
he's not gonna
all.
play. But I don't know who the starting quarterback of this team is gonna be. Hold on, let me because Zach Wilson's in concussion protocol. I do believe, correct?
I think so.
So it's probably going to be some combination of Trevor Simeon and Brett Rippon. I'm actually going to change my vote. I'll take the Commanders.
Same. Like again, I just like as good as the Jets defense is, like you can't just constantly put them out on the field time and time again.
Moving on from this game, we got the Green Bay Packers licking their wounds after getting beat by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going into Carolina, taking on the Carolina Panthers, who are coming off their second victory of the season. The last time these two teams played was 3 years ago, almost to the date. Actually, it was 3 years ago today. And the Green Bay Packers won that game 24-16. The Packers still have a slight resemblance to playoff hope. Losing this game would be absolutely devastating to any kind of playoff hopes that they may have. But how do you think this game shakes out, TJ?
Losing this game would be
Panthers.
devastating to morale in general. Like you cannot lose to the 2-12 Carolina Panthers. You just can't. Jordan Love, who sat down for 3 years, cannot go into that stadium and lose to Bryce Young or whoever else is Andy Dalton, whoever else is playing quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. You cannot lose this game if you're Green Bay. You don't have a snowball's chance in hell of making the playoffs anyway because too much has to go right for you, and yeah, you're not gonna make it anyway. Like you can win this game all you want. Like the playoff talk is should be non-existent because you like
Yeah, true.
too much has to go your way, and it's not gonna happen. Like you're gonna win this game if you're Green Bay. You better win this game if you're Green Bay.
100%, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers as well. I haven't liked at all what I see out of Carolina Panthers so far this season. They're going to have to do some major soul searching in the offseason with very limited draft capital. So I'm not sure exactly what you do. Moving on from there, we got the battle between the Cleveland Browns going into Houston, taking on the Texans. Cleveland obviously coming off beating our Chicago Bears. Houston coming off beating the Tennessee Titans. CJ Stroud unlikely to play in this
It's the
game is
second
the
straight
latest
game.
reporting. I think third straight game actually.
Second.
Okay.
They don't count like because he started playing in the game he got hurt in. That counts as a he
Okay.
played in that game.
So yeah, he's unlikely to play in this game with the concussion protocol. So it probably would be some combination of Jacoby Brissett and Davis Mills. Um, or not Jacoby Brissett, Davis
Case
Mills
Keenum.
and Case Keenum. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, 9-5 Cleveland going up against the Houston Texans. This game is in NRG Stadium. Last time these two teams played was last year. Cleveland won that game 27-14. How do you think this version shakes out, TJ?
They got the best defense in the league for a reason, right? We saw what they did. Like I don't. Justin Fields is he's as hard of a quarterback to bring down as anybody, and they still got him. I think twice.
Yeah,
Yeah, at least twice. And Miles Garrett, Miles Garrett is he can single handedly take over a game. I just like I've seen like on the Hail Mary like the last minute and a half of the game where the Bears were just taking shots downfield. Cleveland was only rushing two guys, Miles Garrett and the other, I think it was the Darius Smith on the other edge. So
Yep. And
basically, there was
Wolves to Koromo too drafted was blitzing a little bit on the edge.
there was there was three guys around Miles Garrett, and he got around all three of them and made Fields rush a throw that he had to just throw in the dirt because Miles Garrett was just right in his face. Like that's the freak athlete that Miles Garrett is. Laramie Tunzel is good. I think Miles Garrett is just that much better. Good.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Cleveland Browns. They seem to have really rallied around Joe Flacco over the last few weeks, more than they ever did under Deshaun Watson. So that's going to be something interesting to talk about in the offseason. That's for damn
No, it
sure.
ain't.
Um,
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Why? Because Deshaun Watson got 230 million. That's
it's true.
that's
It's true.
it. That's a short
But
conversation.
but I'm taking the Cleveland Browns. I think Houston's been a nice story, but I think without CJ Stroud, without their starting quarterback, and also I think Nico Collins is also out for this game. I also think that Noah Brown might not play in this game either. So they've been a very nice story this season, but it's just the wheels have started to come off with injuries for the Houston Texans, which is too bad. To the late afternoon window, we first start in Florida as the Jacksonville Jaguars go into Raymond James Stadium, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jacksonville Jaguars coming off two straight losses, I do believe, off of they lost to the Baltimore Ravens there on Sunday Night Football. Tampa Bay fresh off beating the Green Bay Packers. But I think this is where Jacksonville bounces back. I think Trevor Lawrence will be that much more healthy in this game. Also, last time these two teams played 4 years ago, Tampa Bay won that game 28-11 4 years ago. I will take the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Trevor Lawrence will be healthier in this game. I think there's also a slight chance that potentially Christian Kirk can return to this game. Give me the Jaguars.
Yeah, no, give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks. Give me Baker Mayfield at home. Give me give me Vita Vea raising some hill. Give me Mike Evans doing Mike Evans things because he's Mike Evans.
Christian Kirk will not play in this game. So he's been on IR. He's got to miss at least 2 more weeks.
Yeah, give me the Bucks. Give me the Buccaneers.
I'm taking the Jaguars. So we'll see who ends up getting me right about that one. Moving on from this game, we got the Kyler Murray-led Arizona Cardinals going into Soldiers Field, taking on the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. When I was curious to see what these games were, like what the cost was of going to, if you wanted to go to this game, I think the ticket prices were like under $20 if you wanted to go watch Cardinals Bears. And I almost considered buying a ticket, but then I decided not to. But yeah, this game's at 425. Got the Cardinals and the Bears. Neither of these seasons are really going anywhere. Most of it right now we're just trying to lobby for draft position. Who do you think wins this game, TJ?
Well, if you're the Bears, if you win this, you double your win total. No, yeah, you double your win total from the previous season. And like I said against what Desmond Ritter for the Falcons Panthers, it's just kind of a make or break game for Justin Fields. It sucks. It sucks that he's in that position. Like it really is. Like if he so he's also in a lose lose situation if you're Justin Fields. Because if you go out and you ball against this team, you know what they say? Oh,
Why
it's
didn't you
just
do this? Oh, it's just
that
the
that
Arizona
and it's
Cardinals.
it's just the Arizona Cardinals. But if he loses and he plays terribly, like he can't even do good against the Arizona Cardinals. He's in a lose lose situation. So like if you're out on Justin Fields already, there's nothing he can do for you to save his career here. Like there's folks like I'll never understand. Like, oh, Caleb Williams is better than Justin Fields. How? Caleb Williams has
Based on
never
what?
he's never read an NFL defense.
I mean, he wasn't even good in college this year. Like his number is like not great this season. Like
Like I'm taking the bear. I like give me the Bears because like the way the defense is playing, Kyler Murray is gonna have problems. He's gonna have problems. Like if you can contain his scrambling, you got a chance. So give me the Bears.
I'm also taking the Chicago Bears. No, I do not think they're still going to go to the Super Bowl. But I also agree with TJ. I think that this is a big game for the just for the momentum of the Chicago Bears. You've lost 3 games this season that you should have won.
Should
That
have
would have
won.
changed your total dynamic of what the season could be. If you win that Cleveland game, you win that Bronco game, win that first matchup against Detroit. We're talking about a team that has 8 wins right now in the hunt for a playoff spot. You lose all 3 of those
And
games, and your season's
and that
over.
come and that like they can blame Justin Fields all they want. That literally comes down to coaching.
Yep.
That's
But yeah, I
that's
think
the
the
other
Chicago
team making
Bears.
adjustments and you're not.
I think they need momentum going into next season. And I think Justin Fields needs to play well, even if he's not back here in Chicago next season. As if we want to capitalize his quote unquote trade value, if like Atlanta, I think he's going to be at a Falcon potentially next season when it's all said and done. But I'll take Chicago. I think they beat Arizona. I think they blow them out.
Mm.
I also think this Bears defense is going to get after Kyler Murray in a big way.
Oh yeah, they're
Uh,
pissed.
yeah. Montez Sweat is the only, if the season were to end today, he'd be the only player in the history of the league to lead 2 teams in sacks in the same season.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Like, that's wild, dude. Like, he hasn't played. He only played for us for 3 weeks. He only played for them for like 10 games, or not even 10 games. I might get my maths way off. It's like 7 games maybe. Like that's
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
but they also traded away their other good edge rusher, Chase Young, who was,
But even with
moving
Chase
on.
Young, even with Chase Young there, he still led the team.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on, we got a battle between something's got to give here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Dallas Cowboys, all 4 of their losses have been blowouts on the road. All 4 of Miami Dolphins' loss have been teams with over a record of over 500. So either Dallas Cowboys are going to beat a good team on the road, or Miami is just going to beat a good team in general. Miami 10-4. Dallas 10-4. This game goes a long way for deciding the fate of both of the conferences, really, the NFC and the AFC. Last time these 2 teams played was in 2019. Dallas won this game big, 31-6. How did you see this game shaking out, TJ, in 2023?
You always want to pick the team that get embarrassed. That got embarrassed the week before. Dallas got embarrassed the week, like they got embarrassed. Like, and this is a franchise that has a fan base that travels well, right? So you go to Buffalo, and there's probably just as many Cowboy fans as there is Buffalo fans.
No,
David, be fucking for
no,
real.
no, dude.
Be for real. Be for real. Bills, I understand Bills Mafia. Like no, you didn't hear nothing out of the Cowboy fans because there was nothing to cheer about. They got beat. They got beat 31-10. There was nothing to cheer about. Cowboy fans travel well. They travel very well. Let's not sit here and act like they don't have one of the largest fan bases.
Oh,
And
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But compare, I mean, Buffalo is that. Anyways, to continue.
the Dolphins, one of their losses came against Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee was over 500 when
No,
they
they
beat
they
them.
they weren't. So
They weren't. All right.
I know they weren't. So I was wrong.
No, no, no. It's fine. So, like, of their 4 losses, 3 came from teams over 500, and that one stinker against the Tennessee Titans. Is Tyreek Hill playing?
For the sake of my fantasy team, let's hope so.
Jesus Christ. Oh, so I saw. So I'm glad you brought that up. Like, just because I don't give a damn about fantasy football. Like,
I know.
somebody posted the what do you call it? Like the lineup thingy that like who his team versus who he's playing. He lost on that Jalen Hurts interception. Like he got eliminated on that
That's
Jalen
fine.
Hurts
That's good
interception.
stuff right there. I don't know if Tyreek Hill's gonna play.
That sucks.
He was real close to playing in that game against the Jets. I imagine they just were like, you know what, we don't need you for this game. We can win
No,
without you.
it
I
wasn't
I
that. It wasn't that. So
I think Tyreek Hill plays in this game.
I think they said like because when they showed him walking up to the stadium, like he has no limp. He like walking straight is fine. So there's like I guess they were pretty much like asked like seeing could he cut on a dime like like Tyreek Hill does, and I think he couldn't do that to the ability that he wanted to do it. Um,
Oh, I think he will play in this game.
I think he'll play in this game. Because they need this game just as much as Dallas needs this one. Give me Dallas. Like I said, they got embarrassed last week.
Yeah, I think I talked about this a little bit. I think you have two teams are trying to prove that they're legitimate in both of their conferences. Miami doesn't have a really signature win so far this season, unless you want to consider that 70 steamer they threw up against Denver and Dallas.
Well,
Outside of that game,
that's gonna depend on how Denver finishes. Like if
true,
Denver
true, true.
finishes with a
But Dallas, on Dallas' side, I mean, the only signature win that they really have this season is where they beat
Philly.
down on the Philadelphia Eagles. So both these teams are kind of searching for signature wins. Both of them kind of got to get the bugaboo off of losing on the road and losing to good teams. I'm going to agree with you, TJ. I'm thinking the Dallas Cowboys win this game, and I imagine if I'm a betting man, which I'm not really, but if you go to the dailyblitz.blog at some point in the next couple days, Christian Simpson, who's currently dealing with COVID. Hopefully you're feeling better, doing okay there, buddy. But he'll be previewing this game on his site on dailyblitz.blog. I don't know that for sure, but if I was a betting man, I would almost put my everything I own that Christian Simpson will be previewing this game at some point this week.
Oh yeah, he is. He definitely is.
Yeah, so moving on from this game, we got Sunday Night Football, and this game I will not be able to watch.
Why?
I don't have NFL Network. Why would? Are you?
This is on NFL. This is on NFL Network.
Yeah,
The Patriots and the Broncos is on NFL Network.
yeah,
No, that don't even sound right.
it is. So ESPN is both reporting and NFL.com. So this game is on NFL Network. We got the woeful 3-11 New England
Well, let's be
Patriots.
honest. Let me ask. Like, you sounded so disappointed. Did you really want to watch this game? Do you
Man,
really want to watch this game?
if it's football and it's on TV, I don't have cable. Like I don't have like a lot of options like to watch stuff on TV. New England Patriots at 3-11 going into Mile High and taking on the 7-7 Denver Broncos. Both these teams coming off taking L's this most recent week. Denver getting beat down by the Detroit Lions, and New England be respectable losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. Last time these two teams played was 3 years ago, and it ended 18-12 with Denver winning this game. I wouldn't be shocked if the score was something like that this season. With a very low scoring affair, I will take Denver, but I don't. As much as it pains me that I can't watch it, I should probably find other things to do with my time.
Yeah, like you sound so disappointed, man. No, I would not be losing sleep over the fact that I
I'm
couldn't
not. I'm
watch.
not. I'm not losing sleep. I'll be okay.
It's like, oh man, I can't watch this game. Yeah, no. I wouldn't be surprised. Like with the way Denver's playing, like again, they're so. There was like that solid month stretch where it's like, okay, this is the Russell Wilson we expected. This is the Denver team we expected, and then you lose to you lost to Detroit, and then I think they lost to somebody before that too.
Yeah, I
Not
think they lost two in a row. So, oh no, actually, they beat the Chargers, right? And then hold on a
that's
second.
not really saying much.
Yeah, not even. But when
Not anymore. You're like,
when they
even with
did
Herbert.
when they did beat the Chargers, it was so yeah, they beat the Chargers last week, 24-7, and then they got beat down by the Lions 42-17, and then they lost to Houston Texans 22-17, which really put a damper on their playoff hopes. If they win this game, they're still kind of in the mix because they have the tiebreaker with Buffalo due to head-to-head matchup. So it does make things interesting if they continue to win. But I will take Denver.
Yeah, yeah.
Moving into Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to everyone out there celebrating the holiday. Hopefully you all have a very good holiday. I have to work, unfortunately, on Christmas Day. It's the part of working in TV that really sucks. And then, so first game we got CBS. Actually, if this game runs heavy, I may not have to produce my show, so that would be cool. This game's also going to be on Nickelodeon, where they do that kind of a simulcast with the fun little, SpongeBob stuff going on over there. That'll be cool. But yeah, this game, Raiders Chiefs. Raiders coming in with Aiden O'Connell. Kansas City Chiefs coming in with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. TJ.
Yeah, I don't expect the Chiefs to. I mean, the Raiders to score 63 points against the
I,
Chiefs.
I, I do not either. And if they do, I don't. Andy Reid deserves to get fired.
Yeah, I just want to correct a statement I said yesterday when I said Pat Mahomes threw it to MVS and it hit him in the hands and he got picked off. No, that was Kadarius Tony
Yeah, yeah.
again. And you could see it like you could see the frustration just boiling over there in Kansas City. So some off-season moves are gonna be made, like trade wise for them. Because they got to get a receiver. Like the only reason they got to play Kadarius Tony and they got to play MVS because
MVS.
their depth
Nobody
at
else.
receiver, right? Their depth at receiver is just that abysmal. But I think Rasheed Rice has elevated himself as like the clear number two or number one in terms of receivers. But he's clearly the number two option behind Travis Kelsey. The Chiefs are gonna win this game again. Like it's just, I have Pat Mahomes and you don't. Come on.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Moving on to the late afternoon window game on Christmas Day. We got the New York Football Giants, Kristen Simpson's New York Football Giants, fresh off losing to the New Orleans Saints, going into Philadelphia into the link where they hopefully they don't boo and throw snowballs at Santa this year. Fresh off that loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Actually, if the Philadelphia Eagles lose this game to the Giants, they may boo Santa Claus and throw snowballs at him. So let's be
Yeah.
real. If there's any snow to throw in Philadelphia, because it's not supposed to snow here at Fort Wayne for like another week at least. So, yeah, no white Christmas for us here at Fort Wayne, which is the
Or
only
here.
day, the only day where I like snow is on Christmas Day. That's it. But how do you think this game is going to shake out? Obviously, they haven't played yet this season, so Philadelphia's going to get them twice more. One more time this at the last week of the season. I'm taking Philadelphia. I think they get up big. I don't know Tommy DeVito's concussion situation. I know he went to some promotional event at some pizzeria today.
No,
So
no, the agent upped the price. So it was 10,000, then he added another 10,000 and the local pizzeria said they can't afford that. So he didn't go.
I think that happened anyways. Because I saw it on like the news feed for ESPN. I think that still happened. Yeah, he did he went to that pizzeria. I
Okay.
don't I don't know what the money was involved, but he went there. So I don't know what his status is for this game. I will still take the Eagles. I don't care who the starting quarterback is for the Giants in this game.
Yeah, I don't care either. Again, to the guy I went to high school with and said the Eagles were only going to lose one game and it was going to be the last game of the season against the Giants because we're resting our starters. Like, yeah, dumbass. Yeah,
And
five
then
losses later.
yeah, then the final game of Christmas Day. I will be thankfully off work at this point, so I get to watch it in its entirety. It's on ESPN, as long as it's not on like some weird network. But anyway, so we got the San Francisco 49ers hosting the Baltimore Ravens in a rematch of the Super Bowl from 2013. But the last time these two teams locked horns was in 2019. TJ, do you remember who won that game in 2019?
Nope. I'm not even going to try.
San Francisco 49ers put up 17 points to the Baltimore Ravens 20 as the Ravens won this game in 2019. How do you think this game shakes out in 2023?
Baltimore.
Baltimore leads the all-time series 5-2 between these two teams.
Give me Baltimore again. I think the Ravens are one of the few teams that can defensively that can match the 49ers offense. So it's going to be a real chess. It's going to be a real chess match between Harbaugh and Kyle Shanahan. Like that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a real chess. Like give me the Ravens because I think it's like just when you think Lamar Jackson is like you think you got him and he ends up making a play. Give me the Yeah, give me the Ravens.
Um, Man, I would honestly, this is one of those games where I wouldn't be shocked if either team won. Um, I will reluctantly take the San Francisco 49ers. I just think that they have the better overall team when it comes to their starting lineups. Like, I just look at the San Francisco 49ers, and it's basically like a Pro Bowl team from top to bottom, from offense and defensive side of the ball. And I think they'll be able to generate a pass rush under Lamar Jackson, kind of limit his ability to run a little bit. I will take the San Francisco 49ers, but I would not be shocked in the slightest if the Ravens came in gangbusters and just blew out the 49ers in this game.
I ain't gonna say they're gonna blow them out, but Baltimore's gonna win.
I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers. I think they get the revenge for their loss 4 years ago. I think they get revenge for that Super
Really,
Bowl
really,
loss.
a regular. Oh, they could.
I'm
You
just
got really.
I'm just messing around, man. Come on. It's the only reason I mentioned the history stuff. Also, if I was a betting man, I also imagine that if you go over to dailyblitz.blog either today or tomorrow, sometime before this kickoff, you'll be able to find Christian Simpson's preview of this game because I'm sure he's previewing it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for checking us out here, Prime Sports World. This has been our Week 15 Monday Night Football recap, Week 16 preview and prediction show. Thank you very much for checking us out. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show as you guys bring you guys basically daily content that you guys can enjoy. I'm David Huffman. There's my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. TJ, what do we do here at the Prime, my friend?
We bring the heat.
Yes, sir. And we could use some heat. And we're supposed to be getting it here in the next couple days here in Fort Wayne. Right now, we are on path to have like the warmest Christmas in Fort Wayne ever.
Nice.
So that global warming must be kicking in, I guess. I'll see you later, man.
See ya.
Peace out, brother.